class is right now estimated to be about 45 million and will grow to 130 million by 2030. If you take China and India collectively, you're talking about 600 million middle class who are traveling. And so this is really why there's such a high growth in this region. And a lot of it is intra-regional growth. This is just to show you the growth, the higher growth in ASEAN and Asia. Indonesia itself, we have been growing despite the crisis at above 6% for the last 3 years. Even in 2009, during the crisis, we still grew at 4.8%. And that's largely because of the domestic market, the large domestic market. 2010 rebounded to 10%, 2011 also 9%, 2012 we grew at 5%. The number is not up there. January, March 2013 compared to the same period last year, we grew at 6%. What's not there, which is very important, is domestic tourism. Given the size of our middle class, domestic tourism is growing about double the growth of the population rate. The amount of domestic tourism is counted as number of trips. We reached 245 million trips taken by our domestic tourists last year in 2012, which is on average half of our population of 240 million, like 120-something million, travel twice a year, and it's growing at about 3%, which is double our population rate. And as I said, our middle class is growing. Tourism is an important sector. This is a growing realization all over the world. Even the United States, which never had any attention on tourism at the national level, even the United States now has a National Tourism Action Plan under the State Department. This is new. It's only happened last year. So all countries in the world are beginning to realize the importance of tourism, and hence a lot of attention is now being paid to creating the right kind of investment climate, the right kind of facilitation like visa and airline connectivity for tourism. So I'm just telling you, this is the good news for all of you who are investing in the tourism sector. This is the right sector to be in. And you are seeing investment not just on Java, not just in Jakarta or Surabaya, it's all over Indonesia. Eastern Indonesia, as well as Sumatra, Kalimantan, these are all seeing growth of hotels because if you understand Indonesia is a very large country, a lot of the growth has been resource-based, commodity-based. Your coal, your palm oil, that has been the growth. That's why Eastern Indonesia is growing, and there's a lot of hotel building there, a lot of meeting and convention centers being built there, because there's the high income growth is actually off, a lot of it is off Java. Tourism investment opportunity in Indonesia. We are open for business, very open for business. We allow 100% foreign ownership for all hotels, tourism resorts, golf courses and driving range, convention and exhibition center, and a tourism consultant. So 100% foreign ownership. That's the investment policy in general. I know you will have a presentation from the Board of Investment, I think tomorrow, so he can explain to you more about how to invest kind of regulation. But I just wanted to explain to you, one of the initiatives of the government is to accelerate investment in a number of regions in Indonesia. What does this mean? It means that in these 6 corridors, we call it, we will prioritize and accelerate infrastructure building in these areas. I'm sorry this is in Indonesian, but basically this is the master plan to accelerate and expand economic development in Indonesia, which we started in 2011. And the Bali, East and West Nusa Tenggara area, this is the network of connectivity that we have. 107 domestic cities connected to 38 overseas cities, 18 airlines for domestic and 49 international airlines. And we have also ratified the ASEAN Multilateral Agreement on full liberalization of passenger services in more than 5 airports. So that's the open skies that I was referring to earlier. The 5 major airports are Jakarta, Medan, Surabaya, Denpasar, and Makassar. And out of the 18 airlines for domestic, budget airlines has been one of the key drivers for increased domestic tourism domestically. And as you know, AirAsia, which is Malaysian in ownership, but also has Indonesian shareholders. And our 5 largest markets at the moment are Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, China, and Japan. And then comes the next 5 are in Asia, except for Russia, and increasingly the European, in the next 5, 1 or 2 European countries are in there also. But surprisingly, even with Europe and the US, despite the crisis, we're still experiencing positive growth. That's the first 16. The next 16 is that we are prioritizing 16 destinations in the next 3 to 5 years. And I'll show you in a minute what the 16 are. And then we have 7 special interest tourism, some of which are concentrated in these 16 destination areas. Like Jogja and surrounding areas, Jakarta and surrounding areas, and of course Bali. But the rest are a little bit more specialized, like Raja Ampat, which is in Papua, it's for diving, and Wakatobi for diving. Toraja in South Sulawesi is also a little bit more specialized. It's kind of very cultural, it's for cultural tourism. Bunaken in North Sulawesi is for diving as well as ecotourism and so on. And basically it's spread all over Indonesia. The 16 destinations were chosen. A lot of them are in the corridor, the tourism corridor of Bali. If you time your visits right, you can not face the traffic issue. There's a lot to see in Jakarta. We have 1,000, it's called 1,000 islands. I think it's more than 1,000 islands. You can, in 1 hour, you can be diving and be on a beach and have your own island. Be on your own island. You can be like Robinson Crusoe. 1 hour, you can go to the mountains. In half an hour to 1 hour, you can play at any of the 34 golf courses around Jakarta. Okay, you want to have 6-star restaurant in any kind of food, or you want to go to the hawker stall, you'll find it in Jakarta. So Jakarta is actually undersold, and if you want to do shopping, you can ask the Singaporeans and the Malaysians. They come here for shopping. For Tanjung Lesung, there will hopefully be a highway that will make it faster for you to go there. Right now it takes about 3 or 4 hours. Once the highway is built, it will only take 2 hours from Jakarta to go to this resort. It's opposite Krakatau, by the way. Most of you will know about Krakatau. It's just opposite Krakatau. And it will also build a small airport near there. So for those who don't want to go by road, you can have the choice to go by air. Mandalika is in South Lombok. It has very, very beautiful beaches. This is going to be a long-term development of resort area, and it is hopefully by this year it will also become a special economic zone for tourism. So our target are probably 2 or 3 that we will have special economic zone in tourism. Bintan is already free trade zone. This is kind of coming from the old regulations we had before. We had the special economic zone law. Before that, we have free trade zone, and here this is already very clear. Import and export of goods, duty free, etc., and some incentives, investment. Belitung, this is a beautiful beach area. This is potentially one of the areas we are also looking at to see whether it can become a special economic zone. This is in South Kalimantan, the ecotourism and the orangutan reserve. Lake Toba is a huge lake. If you want to know how huge the lake is, just imagine an island a little bit bigger than Singapore in the middle of this big lake. And the island is, like there's the island and then there's the whole lake. That's That's how big the lake is, and it's actually comes out from a volcanic eruption millions of years ago, and it's very beautiful, but it needs a lot of development. Wakatobi, 100-kilometer coral reef, one of the richest biodiversity area for Indonesia. This is more for specialized ecotourism diving resorts. Sabangwe, same for diving. There's a lot of potential in Indonesia, and we are open for business. We are here to help you and facilitate you. So once again, welcome to Indonesia, and we are here as full team, myself and my Director General and my team, and the Board of Investment people are here too, to answer any questions you may have, and the potential partners for investors are also for investment are also here, and all our association, the Hotel Association, the travel associations are all here. So welcome, and I hope to see you. If it's the first time you're here, I hope I'll see you again and again. As you can see, there's a lot of places that you need to look at in Indonesia. If you've been here before, welcome again, and I do hope to see you in a more permanent way here. Thank you very much.